Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use glue to set Swarovski crystals into Gita jewelry components. So I have a couple of different styles here, so I'm going to kind of walk you through what you might come across when you're working with your Swarovski crystals and your Gita findings. All right, so let me start up here at the top, and I just want to kind of showcase some of the different findings. So we have these big ones here, and this is going to fit that 12mm Rivoli. And then I have these guys here, so you're going to get multiple stones here, and this is going to fit a PP32 or a stone size or SS17 if you will. So that's these little guys here, so they're just going to fit nice and neat in that little component. And what I think is really cool is you can actually have a lot of fun with some different colors there. So we have those as well. And then over here we have the 12mm cushion stone, so that's sort of that rounded square stone shape. And I also wanted to bring out this little guy here. Now this isn't an earring, I'm kind of focusing on earrings here today, but this is a really nice little antiqued finish. So I wanted to kind of bring out the different style there so you could just see the silvers next to each other. So that also fits that 12mm cushion stone. All right, and then over here I have these little round ones, and these are going to fit the stone size 39. And then finally, all the way over here, these are actually really neat. I love these. They're going to fit two Navette stones, which are kind of those marquee style stone, and they're also going to do that same PP32 stone size 17. So you can see that I did the little emerald and sapphire in the silver version there. So you can just see kind of what that looks like. Very nice and flush. It's a wonderful finish there. All right. So what I'm going to be doing here in this video is I'm going to be talking about a little bit of a different style. So I have these little mouse ones here, and I think they're so sweet, but you'll notice that they actually have a little bit of an open back. So you can kind of see my hand behind there. So you can't necessarily put a dab or a glob of E6000 in there, which is what we normally recommend for, let's say, one of these. You can just kind of add some E6000 with a toothpick to that well and go ahead and place your stone inside. But because the E6000 has a higher viscosity, what we're going to do is we're actually going to use something a little different. Now we don't use this often, especially when we're setting stones, but it actually works really, really well for this particular application. And the reason is the GS Hypo cement is going to be a little bit more liquidy, if you will. So it's going to sit inside these little wells a little bit easier. And the great thing is that it has a pinpoint applicator, so we don't need to bother with any toothpicks or anything like that. So I'm also going to be using the magical pick, and this is a really fun little tool. It has this little pad here, so if you just sort of peel that off, this is just a little piece of tape here. So what is going to happen is you're just going to use that little applicator tip and you just activate it. You can hear it getting sticky on the end, and that is going to help us pick up our stones when we're ready to set them. So I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. So I have that all set and ready to go. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to have a little piece of, and this is just printer paper here, but I just like to put my glue down in case it drips just onto my paper. I just really don't want to ruin my work surface here. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. So I want to show you guys how this is going to work. And the GS Hypo cement. Very cool. All right, so let's go ahead and take that out. There we go. And set that down. So you can see that it's already starting to bead up a little bit on that applicator tip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this big center one here. So I'm just going to kind of draw it around towards the top because I don't want to get it into that little well there. So I'm kind of working with the top quarter and just going all the way around. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to take my stone size 39. And this I could probably just pick up with my fingers. There we go. And I'm just going to kind of slide that into place. And you can use the other side of the magical pick just to secure it into place, just to make sure that it's going to be nice and in there. There we go. It's slip sliding around there, so just go ahead and kind of tap it in. We'll just hold it there for a second. Now, we do recommend that you wait at least 24 hours before you guys try to wear these. We want to make sure that your glue has a maximum bond. So we just want to be really careful that nobody loses any of their precious stones. So, all right, so again, just kind of going around the top edge there. And this is where we definitely want to use our little applicator tip. And we're just going to set that in. And it releases very easy, and then I'm just going to kind of nudge that in and just sort of press it down. And if you do get any glue on the back, don't worry, it dries clear and you can kind of peel it off. But you can see that I'm really not using a whole heck of a lot of glue. It's just really just around that edge. But this is going to grab onto that crystal nice and tight because, you know, it is Hypo cement, so it'll stay with you. All right, so I'm going to just do my last one there. And again, just kind of nudging it, just making sure it's in there. There we go. And you do have a little bit of time to work. I'm just kind of moving these guys around. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, pretending I had done both, I'm just going to kind of leave him kind of maybe leaning up there. I don't want to put him down. I don't want those crystals to fall out. So maybe we can lean him up against there. There we go. So now he can dry with the right side up. And then don't forget to close up your glue. We want to make sure that tip stays nice and firm. There we go. All right. Now that's easy. So it's so easy to do this, guys. Really, really simple. If you are going for one of the bigger settings, I recommend E6000. It's just going to be easier to work with. You can use the GS Hypo cement. You're probably just going to use a little bit more. But for the smaller stones, and especially any of the ones that we have with the open backs, like these little mouse here, that's going to be great to use with the GS Hypo cement. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can get all of these beautiful Swarovski crystals and Gita jewelry findings by heading over and shopping at Beadaholique.com.